It's Monday. Apparently it's Mueller Monday again. It's February. I just said February. It's April 9th, 2018. Yeah, I forgot to do the beginning of this rough, but that's not really going to matter in a second, and you will see why. We got a long one today. This thing is 23 minutes long. I don't really want to talk about it for 23 minutes. I want to go eat. Yeah, people in the house have actually cooked food, and they're like, hey, food's ready, but nobody's eating yet because they like to let the meat sit for like an hour after they cook it. I don't get that. Anyway, you'll see what I did here in a second. Apparently that whole bombing of the runway a year ago, where Trump retaliated to Assad's chemical attack by bombing a runway after he called Russia and gave him a heads up that he was about to bomb the runway. Then Russia called Assad, told him to heads up, they're about to bomb a runway. Apparently that didn't discourage Syria from bombing their own people again. Trump gave this big statement about leaving Syria early, getting us out of there, and something that Trump said that Obama should never do. Don't tell people that you're going to leave. And he also said, hey, you shouldn't get involved more in Syria, but you never tell people that you're going to leave. And then he goes off and he does it. Don't telegraph your moves. And then after he does this, and he freezes $200 million for Syrian recovery efforts, Syria attacks their own people again. Yeah, this place is Doma, and it's in the suburbs of Damascus, which is the capital. Doma is controlled by rebels who are fighting the government. But the bad thing is that the rebels aren't really these great people either. These people have actually used civilians as human shields. They've executed prisoners on camera. They've put prisoners in these cages and they put them around their base so that their base wouldn't be attacked. So it's not a lot of good people involved in Syria. Israel did some bombing this morning. Apparently it's Israel. And you never know with Israel. I mean, a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, they're on the right side, getting rid of all these bombs. And then next thing you know, they're just shooting people in the streets. Yeah, I did some Googling and I found these canister bombs. For these barrel bombs, actually. And they look kind of cool. I mean, the photos said, not saying the drawings, they look really kind of cool. And why do people wait for me to start recording, to start doing laundry? You just start, yeah. People. So, anyway. I'll bitch about things. I'm just gonna bitch and crave about things. The other fun thing today, might be the next subject, is that Michael Cohen's office has been raided. Michael Cohen, of course, as you probably know, if you've been hanging out here, you should know this. If you don't already know about Michael Cohen, then you made a mistake and you thought you were looking for some porn and you landed here on political cartoons. Michael Cohen paid off the porn star for Donald Trump, and he claims that he did it without Trump's knowledge, without telling Trump. He negotiated a deal for Trump without Trump's involvement at all. Which lawyers don't do that. You don't do that, you can lose your license for that. Also, there's a limit to how much you can donate to a campaign. Apparently this was done to keep Stormy Daniels from talking, to not derail Trump's election. But he says, no, just did it because I'm a good guy, because I just love Trump so much. Nobody buys that crap unless you are a total psychopath. And so now, today his office was raided. Mueller pretty much sent what information he had to the Attorney General of New York, and yeah, his office and his hotel room was raided, and Trump is wigging out. He's going all deep state on us. He's bringing up Hillary's emails. He's talking about Rosenstein. He's bitching about Jeff Sessions recusing himself. He's just going off. So apparently they're really close to something here. They're looking at bank fraud and for the campaign finance violation, and there's no telling what else they're looking at. If you do have attorney-client privilege, but you cannot engage, in campaign. You can't break the law and then cite attorney-client privilege. You can't go off into bank fraud and money laundering and campaign finance crap, and then be like, but hey, I got attorney-client privilege. No, it doesn't work that way. So, and in the background you can hear the news. Might be doing something on this Cohen thing tonight. My next cartoon, not sure yet. This video got so long, it took about 4 hours to do it. I said this video. Yeah, this video did get so long. This cartoon took forever. I thought this cartoon would be really, really quick. Hey, I'm just going to draw a bunch of bombs in the sky falling on a group of people. It's just the same thing. It won't take long. But then I kept changing my mind. Kept adding stuff. I like drew all the fins on these things, and I came back and it was like, these fins need some more work. I wish I could have like sped this one up a little bit more than the maximum that I got it at. Help me, the video's too long. Oh, since everybody's here, everybody's here, like you're all here. It's almost like 7 o'clock right now, and I'm doing this. We're gonna go. Cancer Strom commented on another one. Actually, she's been commenting, but she's like 20 videos behind everybody else. No, that's not true. She is at video number 53, and this one that we were making today. Where are we? 64? Let me check. No, we're at 60. No, wait. Where are we? We are at, this is video 64. So let's go give us some shout outs. News. Okay. Alright, Ariel came in. What is she talking about? No. Why am I breaking Coral's heart? I don't get that. Because I was bitching. Was I bitching about Coral? That's very possible. She told me to stop pointing out stuff no one has noticed. But you know what? You should have looked at the cartoon a long time. Been loving it a long time before the video was made. And if you hadn't noticed the stuff that I pointed out at that point, yeah, I'm still gonna do that. So drawing these bombs, barrel bombs. I think I spent about 2 hours drawing these barrel bombs. There's little mini videos I make. I had like 3 or 4 of them that were really, really long. 2 of them was at least 30 minutes. Hard for me to focus. I'm trying to watch the news when I'm narrating this and I'm reading Arrow's comment. Yeah, okay, Arrow comment. We'll give her that. Now I feel bad. It's like she said something bad. No, she didn't. Talked about octopus. Octopus is delicious. I do like calamari, though I know that's not octopus, but it's good depending on how it's made. The best calamari I ever had was in Croce's in San Diego, which I don't believe it's there anymore. It was so good I had to order seconds, and you know what? Nobody ever orders seconds of calamari. Even fish don't want seconds of calamari. I mean, Robert Cortino said the word for today, which would have been yesterday, or 1 day ago, which would be yesterday. The word for today is unhinged, describing the Trump administration with the trade war. And Emily was commenting, and she was trying to figure out what was in the background that I was watching. And that was the whole 9 yards of the movie. And I mentioned that I took a girl with me. And stuff, and that I didn't get any. She didn't believe that, but trust me, I didn't. Nobody loves Clay. I'm just counting here. It says I got 8 comments, and then, yeah, I believe that. I think I'm missing somebody, though. Or she just didn't stop loving me. She didn't come in. I think she stopped loving me and she didn't come in. That's what happened there. Actually, and the one before that commented, and she said, DeVoe's clueless. I don't know if, what was I going to say? That was 2 days ago. Yeah. That was on the education cartoon. Yeah, I'm still drawing these bombs. I should be almost done, though. Almost done drawing bombs. Yep, not yet. There we are. We're done. Then it occurs to me, some of these are bugging me. I just had to go fix them up a little bit. They just didn't look wacky and wild enough, like they're all disjointed. And just wouldn't make any sense. It just wouldn't work. Nope. The bad thing is after I did this, I had to do something else. Did it bug me? It's kind of funny that when I start doing the cartoon like this, it's dark and nobody's up, and then next thing I know, the sun is up and people are stopped around the house. Even the cat fell asleep while I was doing this. Even the cat got bored. The cat usually hangs out with me every night while I'm drawing. Usually just stays in my bed. As long as he leaves me alone, we're good. And he doesn't chew my cords and cables. He's pretty good about that, except with the headphones. For some reason, he's got a thing about headphones, which is a bit another no-no. I caught him playing with the cord to my Surface Pro one time, and he learned real quick that you don't mess with that one. You know, it's like I'm sitting here thinking about what I'm going to do tonight. But I don't think the news is done breaking for the day. In fact, while I'm doing this video, there might be breaking news. So you should keep watching, because there might be breaking news, and you'll get to see my reaction to it. It'll be all like, ah! That's exactly what it will sound like. Ah! Breaking news! Chris Matthews is on now. Does anybody like Chris Matthews? Anyone? Anyone out there? Not so much? Nobody likes Chris Matthews. Nobody. Chris Matthews' mom probably doesn't want to talk to me. This interrupts everybody. I'm getting a whole bunch of love on Facebook right now, just for a comment. If I make a comment on Facebook, I get a lot more comments on that than a cartoon. Does that mean I'm not a good cartoonist and I'm better at just making smart-ass comments? Can I just make a living doing smart-ass comments? I can stop writing blogs and doing these videos, drawing cartoons, and I can just walk around being a smart-ass? Can I make a living doing that? People make financial contributions to the pursuit of smart-assiness? For the study of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, just the study of sarcasm. The study of being an obnoxious pain in the ass. I don't know. I know, it took forever, and I'm not even nearly done with it. We got like 10 more minutes of pretty much this. This is a longer video today. You know what? If nobody watches this one, I totally understand. You're excused. You can totally fast forward now. I mean, it can't be that suspenseful. I think asking people to dedicate 23 minutes of their day to watch something like this is asking a lot out of people. I think I'm asking a lot when I ask people to watch 5 minutes, but I'm hoping that they do that. So, unfairness. What is it about old white guys that's always the ones who mention unfairness the most? I mean, they had everything in their life handed to them. I really don't want to hear a billionaire talk about how life's treating him unfair. You know? I'm going to have to go back and read all these comments in a bit. This was an all-out attack on those who raided his office today. Yeah, you can see his anger. He's obviously very upset about this. He feels like he's being closed in on by all sorts of sides. Sorry I was yawning. And I also didn't really want to talk yet. You know, I started to watch a couple movies. I started to watch 2 movies while I was doing this, and I gave up on both of them. They were just didn't hold my interest at all, and they weren't really big major movies because you know what? I can only remember one of them at this moment. It was some movie about who keeps the dog, and I thought, oh, that'd be something that I'd like, and it's just so bad. I want the dog to run away from the couple. I started watching it after about like 30 minutes, and I went into listening to music. I'm yawning again. Okay. Yes, I slept a little bit today. Cross-hatching. Sometimes when I cross-hatch, it's easier if I do it with the image smaller. Seems I can do it faster. It's not as detailed, but also just kind of helps with the whole sloppiness and spontaneity. Sometimes it does that with the color too. But. And I might have actually forgotten to color to record the background color when I did that. So I've actually seen a couple of people on social media complain about this raid. Trump is like talking about it being a break-in, but they don't break in with a warrant. Can't really call it that. I also like sometimes when breaking news like this happens, I have to ask myself, is this going to be a big deal Tuesday? It's Monday now. You're going to care about this on Tuesday. And I don't know, because there might be something else. I had to think a while. Oh, okay. I don't even feel that sleepy. It's not right, people. Then I realized I should probably make them look like barrels, or try to make them look kind of like barrels. Yeah, I heard somebody complaining about this Trump supporter. How dare they violate the president's lawyer friend like this? Basically, the Trump people, Trump and his criminal cronies, should just be allowed to do any illegal thing that they want. Just leave them alone. Don't ask any questions. Yeah, I realized right before I colored that this thing needed more fins going in the opposite direction. And they kind of suck, some of them do. And it's like after I do them for a few of them, then I realize how I want them to look, and then I have to go back and change them up again. This is why this thing took forever. This was the kind of cartoon that when I was done with it, or before I was done with it, I could not wait for it to be finished drawing it. And then I still had to write the blog. So I already knew that today's blog was not going to be a long one because I was tired. Not just tired in general like I am now, yawning. Tired of the cartoon. It's like I wanted to move on with my life. Just want the cartoon done. Right now I'm kind of feeling the same way. I just want the cartoon done. And then when I was complete with it, I wasn't too sure if it even looked that good. I spent 4 hours on this and I don't know. And actually I don't really believe it has received that many shares. Let me go check that out. It might be one of those that's just shockingly appalling. I might look at the shares on this and just go, oh, come on, you gotta be kidding me. And actually, yeah, you gotta be kidding me. You got no shares on this. Dang. But I did get 2 comments. I'm gonna like those comments because there's only 2 I got. Yeah. And that's a video on my site. Which is annoying. But I'm getting okay views today. I'll talk about anything with these long videos, man. Hey, let's see what countries hit the site today. Alright, of course, number 1 was USA. And Canada's always second. And usually England is third, but occasionally Germany will notch them out. But today, Italy's number 2, and then Denmark, and Austria. What's up with that? Some of those Italians, Denmarkians, and Austrians. I know they're called Danish, not Denmarkians. Netherlands, Thailand, Mexico, Sweden. I like on this site when someone from Puerto Rico visits my site. They're listed as Puerto Rico, not the United States. That's weird. Got a view from Jamaica. I want to say Jamaica without doing the accent. I think I might be the only person in the United States that's able to do that. But I can do the accent and actually do it pretty well. Alright, and look. Ireland, India, France, Turkey, Hong Kong. Sometimes I get a ton of views from Ireland, but today is just 1. I always like to see what third world countries have visited my site. Places that have never visited before. And I have done this thing with this all time. See which countries have never had a visitor to my site. And there's actually a few, other than North Korea and Cuba. There's like some countries like in the middle of Africa. Let's look here. Yeah. All time. Yeah, basically, it's Cuba, North Korea, and there was this swath of countries. It's like, actually there's two in the center of Africa. I gotta look at a map to see who they are. And one on the coast. And one is like the Western Sahara thing, but I don't think anybody lives there. It's like a disputed territory. But looking to see if like Uzbekistan. Okay, out of all these years, I've only had like 5 visitors from Uzbekistan. Turkmenistan had never visited before, but recently I got a visitor from them. 1. Turkmenistan. This would be a horrible place. Kazakhstan's only 12. Tajikistan. They had never visited my site before. And now 1 person has. So, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. That's pretty good. Yeah. See, I've been getting them even from like Afghanistan, Pakistan. Iran, I've had 3 from Iran. You'd think Iran would never visit, but yeah, I've had 3. Oh yeah. And everywhere else in the Middle East, I get plenty of visitors. You know, Indonesia is a big hitter. You know, Asia, just every nation in Asia hits me, even Mongolia, and Russia and China. You know, I get all those. India, South America's big. Bermuda, Bahamas, everybody in the Caribbean. But there's just some of these like dictator-controlled countries where they don't have any internet. And I'm a geek. I just find it interesting. See, I told you I'd talk about anything. I got like a minute left. I'm coloring this stuff. This was just so tedious. That's why I'm talking about the countries that have visited my site. Oh my god, we're almost done. Here comes the final version. I still don't know if this looked okay. Actually, I think it looks okay. I don't think it's great though. Didn't look out. I should have made it fewer bombs, I think. Anyway, thank you for coming by and hanging out. And if you watched this entire thing, or even if you didn't, you fast forward it. Thank you. I don't care today if you fast forward it. I was really boring today, so that's okay. Please click like and share this and subscribe to the YouTube channel and share it with somebody weird, okay? And try to be funnier tomorrow. And please subscribe and thank you very much. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye.